What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Season 8 of NHL 24 Toronto Maple Leafs Franchise Mode Series. As always, guys, thank you so much for support on these videos. If you wouldn't mind leaving a thumbs up on this one as well, I'd really appreciate it. Now, this is the final season, guys, and we're trying to win a second Stanley Cup. If you missed the last few episodes, we actually won our first cup a couple years ago, so we'd love to get two. I think, multiple Stanley Cups for this core. It definitely sounds a lot better than just one. I think, too, they are good enough to get it done. I'll show you what this team is looking like at this point. Honestly, we're pretty stacked. So the top six there is intact from last year. You got Laxo, Matthews, Marner, Demidov, Nylander, Ward. This is actually the top six we won a Stanley Cup with. Third line there, you got Fraser Minton, now 87. He's actually same range as Nylander, playing with Svechkov and Labruyere, who's a rookie. Drafted him second round, actually the last pick in the second round, 2029, and he's an 82 overall already. I think he was like a low 70s, so crazy growth from him. Definitely be using him on the PK. Fourth line, you got Matthew Knies, John Tavares down to a 77. Still wearing the C, though. And Jarventi we picked up. Defensively there, you got Hay, who we made a big trade for, 90 overall. And then McAvoy we signed. I ended up actually having some cap space. We signed him to a 3-year, $15.3 million deal. I thought Hay was going to be our number one. We signed McAvoy. I feel like we honestly have two number ones on this team now, even though Hay shows a role there top four. It's pretty funny. So we should be set. Like, look at the defense. Second pairing, Salaya, Pesci, I think is very solid. And then Riley in the bottom pair, kind of like Tavares, dropped a lot in rating, now 79. Zadorov we signed, he's an 81. You look at the goaltending, Dossel's 85. He won the Vezina last year, so should be good there. Eminger, medium potential, is our backup. In terms of power play one, I mean, it's absolutely stacked. Even power play 2 there gets a +4, looking solid. I actually wanted to try something new here. I threw Silayev out front. He's 6'7". I don't really think that'll probably have any effect at all in this sim, but it's kind of funny to think about. When Boston Bruins have Char out front screen the goalie, we can kind of do the same there with the second unit. And actually, you guys can see that both foremans are actually getting +5 count, which is nice to see. In terms of the PK, we get a +5. Svechkov, Labruyere, McAvoy, Pesci. I think defensively, we probably, got some of our better PK units we've had. So overall, really like how this team looks. I think, we only get minuses on the 3-man, but again, 3-man is barely out there. In terms of the AHL team, they're looking for their third Calder Cup. Got a good chance. First line, Retkov, McGroarty, Miknov. They got Crystal we signed, good offensively. The other Jack Hughes there. You look at the defense, you got 480s in the top 4. Goaltending even. Liv's the starter there. And Volkan even back him up to 77. So no reason why they can't compete. Now, I might be trading Miknov as he's medium elite, never turned out. If we can get a big return at the deadline, I think, in the final season, it makes a bit more sense. So I'll get started here, guys. Obviously not going to do any contract extensions because it's the final year. It does not really matter. But I'll look at the ratings here. We've got 100 offense, 91 defense, 85 goaltending. Let's see if this team can get a cup in their final season. And it's kind of funny, guys. Cam Fowler's now on waivers. I'm assuming he's down to a 70-something like Riley. Yeah, he's 79, 38 years old. Still not terrible apart from his physical, but we really don't have a spot for him, so I'll decline. All right, guys, we're at the end of December here with a record of 22-11-1, which is pretty solid. Our third place there in the division. Division is, pretty competitive, though. Lightning, 41 points out of the playoffs. The Metro, wow, Penguins are first place with 41 points. So the Atlantic doing much better than the Metro. As always, we're in the tougher division, it seems. AHL team's crushing it, 24-3. Take a look and see their leading score at this point. Rutger McGroarty, what a signing for us. He's got 39-27 as our 1C. In terms of the NHL team, it's Matthews with 58-34, averaging almost a goal a game. The dude is just insane. And we're at the deadline with a record of 36-22-3, which is actually good for first in the division. 75 points, ties us with the Red Wings. AHL team, also first in their division. They continue to absolutely crush it. Leading scores now, Miknov, 68-52. Again, could be getting moved here at the deadline. Matthews already has 50 goals with 21 games remaining. Should be able to hit 60 there because, I mean, come on. He's got 50 and 60. Would have to really fall off. He's got 86 points total. So it's the last year. We're going to go all out. I do like to not trade picks, too far into the future to at least leave it somewhat realistic. I'm sure some of you will argue that, the franchise is already unrealistic, but do my best. So Aatu Ratu, in 90 overall now. It's kind of nuts. Saros there's a 90. Pretty low value, but I think, we have had pretty good success with Dostal. JJ Peterka there, 89. Cam York again on the trade block. Voronkov there. Aaron Ekblad we actually looked to make a trade for. Now he's on the block. Maybe we can make something happen. Jacob Pelche, Brady Tkachuk, Ridley Gregg, Casey Middlestat. I think the one big issue, though, is, of course, going to be cap space for our team. We are pretty capped out as far as I'm aware. We've got, 3, not even 3, maybe like $2.5 million. Now, at the deadline, it doesn't count quite the same. You can't retain. So we have some options. Wow, where is William Nylander? His value's dropped that much. He's down 86, I guess, because he is getting paid $8 million. Look at that. 1 year left. Same with Minton, Ward, Demidov, Hay. Like, you can tell, we made this team, for this to be the final season. Now, Dostal, what's he doing after winning the Vezina? 906, 289, not bad, not as good as last year, but I really don't know if it's worth, giving up a bunch of assets to get Saros. I think we have the forwards. If anything, maybe we do go for defensemen like an Ekblad. Pesci actually dropped in rating as well, doing 84. Interesting. All right, guys, so you know what? I'm actually going to try and get Aatu Räty here. I feel like he could be a super third liner for us. 90 overall, does everything. Could be added to the second power play. Could play him on the PK. He's the best free agent available. We have the assets. Like, we actually don't even have to give up Mikno if we don't want to. We have Alexi and Leopold here, both medium elites. Leopold there a bit older. I think, too, we might even have a medium elite goalie we could trade. Yeah, we actually have a couple there, Svensson and Ruutu. So let's try. They want both these guys. Let's try the medium elite skater with the medium elite goalie. The value there is pretty close to Aatu Räty. Trades rejected. Okay. I'm thinking we can maybe add like a second round or first round pick even onto this. I mean, let's try our second round first. If it doesn't work, we'll add the Vegas one. They said no, so yeah, let's try the Vegas second. The fact we can make this trade happen and still go after someone else is pretty nuts. And there we go. Vancouver said yes. Cap space-wise, we're pretty close to being over, so we'll have to make sure we make the right moves. One thing that sucks, Morgan Riley might have to get traded. I don't want to do it, but like the dude's 79 overall and he's making 3.2. And now next year, guys, we're trying to get one more trade, essentially upgrading Zadorov to Simashev. A bit higher rated at 85. Zadorov's only an 81. Very good defensively, just as good physically. Again, basically just upgrading him. Slightly smaller at 6'4", but again, very physical. We're adding the other medium link goalie there in Ruutu. It's pretty equal. Trades accepted. Okay, so honestly, kind of crazy that we're able to get like the big fish in this free agency in Aatu Räty, upgrade our defense, and we didn't have to trade away Mikno. We also were able to keep, two of our medium elite skaters there, Alexi. We've only got 10 minutes left. I feel like there's really not much more I can do. We've also still got a good amount of picks in this year's draft, so I would say pretty realistic. We didn't completely tear it down for, the next GM taking over, hopefully after this team wins the Stanley Cup. And so the trade deadline is now complete, guys. Honestly, what I'm thinking is we have an extra forward. Might just scratch John Tavares, 77 on the fourth line. He can still be the captain, but from the press box. So looking at the rest of the moves that are getting made here, a lot of picks. Kaden Korczak to the Bruins. Let's see, Alexander Carrier there to the Devils. Joel Hofer to the Senators. Our trade for Ruutu. You got Philip Bystedt going to the Stars. Alex Turcotte to the Oilers. Mangiapane there to the Rangers. Ferraro to the Penguins. Samuel Girard to the Philadelphia Flyers. Jimmy Snugger to the Capitals. Pretty big trade. Andrew Campe also gets moved to the Flyers. Anything else here? Philip Hronik to the Coyotes. You got Siegenthaler to the Penguins, but really no star player. I think our trade for Ruutu was, obviously the biggest one. Yolinen here on waivers. Looks like he's an 80 at 31, so never really got too great. We'll decline. All right, guys, after those two big trades, just finished adding the lines. I think this team is poised for Stanley Cup run. Obviously, we still got to get lucky in the playoff sim, but I mean, come on. Look at the roster. You got Laxo, Matthews, Marner, first line, still getting a +5. We now have Demidov, Räty, and Ward on the second line. Räty being a 90, I should have realized, way too good to be on the third line. Then you have Fraser Minton, Svechkov, and Nylander now on the third line, also getting a +3. So, like, our top 9 is stacked. Even the fourth line, Matthew Nyes, Labrurier there, the rookie, Jarventi. Again, we have the captain, Tavares, scratched, but I mean, he's along for the ride. Defensively here, we still have Hay, McAvoy, top pair. They've actually had great plus-minus so far this season. Why break it up? Simashev, Salayev is our second pairing, and the bomb pair is actually Pesci and Riley. So the defense looks better. Obviously, no change to the goalies. Power play one, we actually added Räty, still get a +5. I think Nylander's now in the second. It's getting a +5. The two foremans are still a +5. You look at the PK, we got Räty there. So again, using him in all situations. I've actually added Simashev to the first PK as well. So like the PK gets a lot better with the two players we brought in. Everyone else kind of slides down. Matthews and Marner are actually back to being on the third unit. I figure we're trying to win. I want to get everyone ice time, but the two wingers there, Nyes and Jarventi, they're just going to have to wait till next year. In terms of AHL team, I think they're actually still the exact same. So let's see if we can potentially win Stanley Cup and Calder Cup, just like we did 2 years ago. We'll spend the last month and a half and see where we end up. All right, guys, we're in the season now with a record of 46, 28, and 8, which is not only good enough to make the playoffs, we also won the division there. Looks like we got the tiebreak against the Panthers, who also had 100. I feel like, we like being first place. We get one of the wildcard teams in the first round. AHL team put up 99 points there, only 69 games. They're also going to get first in their division. There's a couple of games left, but I don't think number 2 can catch them. Miknov, 83 and 69. Maybe, if we kept going, he'd eventually make the NHL team. Matthews went off, 118 points, 67 goals. I love seeing that from him in the final year. We'll see if actually, wow, Marner also 100-point season, 106 to be exact. Laxo was close to 96, the first line carried. Demidov there, Ward both in the 70s. Räty there was close. Take a look with us. 15 and 20, so not too bad. Looks to have done a little bit better with the Canucks, but he was probably playing first line with them. Nylander still at 66, even with the third line in motion. Minton was close to 60. Hay there at 54 as a D-man. McAvoy at 50. So, I mean, I think we had like 10 players with 50-plus points. It's a pretty good season. Goaltending-wise, Dostal 901. Not as good as last year, but still good enough, especially when you look at his salary. Like, only making 1.5. We take that. AHL lived there, 908, so definitely did a lot better in the AHL, which you would expect. Behind Meeknod, Rucker McGrody there, 80 points is pretty crazy. Repkov 63 with 44 goals. I showed you guys before, but his shot actually grew to be insane. After that, you got Ufko here, defenseman 58. So AHL team should have a good chance of making a deep run. And actually, Meeknod there led the AHL in scoring, followed by McGrody. Liam Greenshee was third, 77. That's kind of cool to see. And in terms of the NHL, Matthews won the Art Ross Trophy in the final year. Let's go. McDavid 6 behind him. And then a Draisaitl there, Marner. Wow. So just the two faces of the Leafs, followed by the two faces of the Oilers. You got Farrell there. Wow. Went with the Oilers, 104 points. Had to have just been riding shotgun on that line. Robertson, Fox 101. Celebrini, Nazar. In terms of goals, yeah, Matthews 67, closest. Bedard there, 58. Defensive scoring, obviously Fox 101. He's followed by Hudson, McCarr. I mean, okay, no, Hay unfortunately not make the first page, but, you know, I'm still pretty happy with his performance. Evan Bouchard actually on the Devils now I saw. Carter Hart there, 42 wins. Probably don't want to be seeing that at this time, but he is in the franchise. Save percentage-wise, Saros, 916. Goals against here, let's see. For a starter, Saros, 41 games played, is essentially starter, 2-8 if not him. Probably Spencer Knight there, 294, so league scoring quite high. And then rookie skaters, we had our rookie, but didn't have enough ice time. So Penguins guy here, Reshny, 60 points. Curious to see where our guy finished. Labriere here, 28, was actually tied with Joseph, so basically bottom of the first page, which isn't terrible. And in terms of the entire league here, guys, the Blackhawks won the President's Trophy. And then we got 6th place there, really tight though, like literally one win back, a third there. The Coyotes, 102. Let's see, last in the NHL, Vegas Golden Knights, 63 points. They're actually looking like an expansion team now. Goals for the Oilers beat us out by 2, but we're the top teams by far. Maybe it'll be Edmonton, Toronto, Stanley Cup final. Goals against. The Red Wings had the best. We're on the top page, though, so I think this team, you know, we should be pretty good in the playoffs. On paper, I don't really see any team matching up with us, but again, very luck dependent here in the sim. First round matchup, we've got the Red Wings. Okay, so a classic Original 6 matchup. Obviously my favorite team, but right now I actually am trying to beat them because in the game, I mean, don't really care. So DeBrincat there on the first line, playing with Casper and Raymond, Bergeron, Danielson, and Ruck. They got Larkin now playing third line. Elias Lindholm's on the team. Chibirkov. Fourth line's okay. Defensively, they got Shabbat there with a 92-sider. Sandin Palika on a Vinen, who's on our team for a bit. Kesserline, Gibson. Goaltending, they got a 90 Kosa. Wow, I can't believe he got that high. Trey Augustine backing him up. So their defense is pretty weak, apart from the top pair. Hopefully, we can kind of exploit that, having, you know, 3 solid forward lines. Basically, we should always have a forward line that's better than their defense, in my opinion. So, the first 2 games are at home in Toronto, and we get a 6-5 loss and a 2-1 loss. I mean, at least both games were close, only lost by 1. Game 3... oh my goodness, this game. Game 3 is an 8-5 loss. Let's see what happens. There it is, guys. We get swept by the Red Wings in the first round. I mean, you just saw what that Red Wing team looked like. I'm just looking at our team again. How do they match up? How do they match up? We get swept round 1 by the Wings. Wow. Fraser Minton at least showed up, over a point per game. Take a look at the AHL team next. Look, they're currently in the first round playing against the Rocket. They're up 1. Just have to win 3 games here. And they're up 2-1 now. Come on. Still looking for one more win. Don't let the Rockets reverse sweep us. We do not. Okay, so that one was close, but AHL team, moving on to round 2. And we got the Utica Comets. We'll just sim the entire 5-game series here. We're up 2, we're up 3. Wow, we actually sweep them. And next here we got Springfield in the conference final. Lose the first game in OT, luckily win game 2. And game 3 and 4 both losses. Wow, so we have to win out here to make it back to the Calder Cup final. And unfortunately, Springfield beats us in 5. So AHL team had a bit of a better showing, unfortunately. Still not the ending I was hoping for. I really thought, you know, both teams were good enough to get this done. But again, the playoff just so sim-based. Wow. The Red Wings, the wild card team, go on to win the cup. And then Springfield goes on to win the Calder. Both teams that knocked us out. Wow, wow, wow. Playoffs there, the Kraken actually get the first pick. Not Vegas, but again, both expansion teams at the bottom of the league is kind of interesting to see. we'll take a look at the awards next here, guys. The playoff tree, also the record book. Haven't touched on that yet, as well as to our coach's kind of final record. So after sweeping us, the Red Wings there beat the Sabres in 6, Rangers in 5, and then the St. Louis Blues in 7 to win the Stanley Cup. In terms of the player stats here, you had Laxo and Matthews both being a point per game. I mean, a lot of dashes, though, for that top line, even though they were putting up points. Let's see. Dostal there, 8.75 save percentage. Yeah, you can't win with that. I don't really get it. Last year, he won a Vezina trophy. I feel like definitely should have been good enough. Aatu Räty made that big trade for him, 90 overall. 0 points for us. Simashev, same thing. Now, he is defensive. He also gained an X-Factor, truculence, and he was a +3. I think I saw too. Räty got the Yoink Zone ability. Unfortunately, didn't seem to matter in that first playoff series. Now, looking at the awards here, guys, unfortunately no team awards in the final season. Luckily, we did get that one Stanley Cup. Individually here, Matthews with the Art Ross Trophy, also won the Hart. And that's actually his second time winning both those trophies in the last 3 years. You got Adam Fox there in the James Norrie. It basically just cycles between him, Quinn Hughes, Kel McCarr. Marner there, Lady Bing. Wow, so tons of awards. Reshny there on the Penguins got the Calder. DeBrincat, Conn Smythe, Spencer Knight, Vezina Trophy. Coach of the William Jennings. You got Wallenus there, Bill Masterton on Ottawa. Florida coach Jack Adams. Grieva, one of the Twins, gets the Selke Trophy. Matthews here also got the Ted Lindsay and the Maurice Richard. So, again, tons of trophies at least. AHL should actually be pretty similar. Yeah, Miknov, most points. Also got MVP. Blomqvist, best rookie. Ufko, best defenseman. See if we got any more. Kim Fowler, MVP of the playoffs after going through waivers. That's pretty funny. Miknov, sportsmanship as well. Are you kidding me? So, yeah, like, tons of awards. Marley's their best team in the AHL in the regular season back-to-back years. Unfortunately, this game just hates me in the playoff sim. I'm not really sure, how we can figure that one out. I really don't think the sim's like real life where there's less penalties in the playoffs or anything like that. It's the same game, so if you're winning a bunch in the regular season, it really should carry over the playoffs. Unfortunately, does not always seem to be the case. Now, looking at our coaching staff here, guys, I'm just kind of curious. The head coach, last head coach we had, ended up having A+ everything. I'm sure winning a Stanley Cup helps. You can see there his win percentage, 60.4, 1 President's Trophy, 1 Cup. I mean, we were quite dominant with him. And then finally here, guys, looking at our team's record book, Austin Matthews actually goes down as the all-time leading scorer for the Maple Leafs with 1,400 points. Assists goes to Marner, 957. Games played is Riley, 1,300. Austin Matthews also has the most goals, 780. Current record that shows Nylander for games played. I wonder if that's because they have Riley in the AHL, or maybe he retires. I should sim a bit to see if Tavares Riley finally hang him up. Now looking at the season records here, guys. Phil Kessel, games played, 82. It's funny they chose him. Matthews goals there, 72. No surprise. That's actually the only one we got. In terms of rookie records, I didn't realize Marner and Matthews got all the rookie records in 2015. That's pretty cool. Game records here. We unfortunately did not get any new ones. I mean, Daryl Sittler's 10 points in the game, I believe, is an NHL record, so it would have been pretty tough to beat that. And now speaking of NHL records, guys, we'll take a look at all the career records. So games played, Joe Pavelski actually finished at 4. Most goals, Alex Ovechkin, 991. Matthews is number 4 right now, and obviously still playing at a very, high caliber. Crosby, most points, there's number 4. Assists goes to Crosby, also 4th. Patty Kane, 5th. Wins, Marc-Andre Fleury is 2nd. Okay, shutouts there, no one knew. 50 goal seasons, you got Ovi 9, Matthews at 8, one above Bedard at 7. Bedard started actually a lot later than him, so Bedard's looking kind of nasty. 100-point seasons, McDavid only 2 behind Gretzky. Even Draisaitl there is at 9, so pretty cool to see how, some of the superstars here sim. But like I was saying, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Apart from the retirement class, like I said, I want to see, does Tavares Riley finally retire? Especially Tavares literally was scratched there during that playoff run. So you got Malkin there, you got Panarin, Zibanejad. I mean, I don't see John Tavares. Morgan Riley, though, does retire. Are you telling me we scratched Tavares? He's still coming back. Brett Pesce retired. I'm actually a little bit surprised by that one. Wow. I got to go to the contract screen just to see what Tavares' rating is. But before I do forget, guys, let me know in the comments section which team you want to see me use in my next franchise mode series. I'll make a poll of the top 3 or 4 teams, then you guys can vote which one I'll actually use. So again, I'm just curious, what is Tavares' rating? He's not even in the main roster. He's actually dropped. Let's just go to age here. Okay, still a 77. I can't believe the dude's not calling it quits. The cap, he doesn't want to give up the C to Matthews. That's definitely what it is. I really thought during this series Matthews would end up being the captain, but never ended up being the case. Regardless, guys, like I said, thank you so much for on this series. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, leave that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the sub button down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.